Well, thanks for checking out the web show, and another clip with cycling star Robbie McEwen. Of course, the equipment, all important to be a champion, especially in the Tour de France. So it was great to have a chat with Robbie afterwards about the bike he uses. Here he is. So we're looking at pretty much your bike?
Yep, this is it. This is what I've been training on, but this is actually a bike that I will race Tour Down Under on. And it's the model of bike that I ride a lot during the racing season. The brand of this bike is a Ridley. That's the sponsor of the team. That's a bike I've been riding actually for the last 4 years, and then now come with me to my new team, which is, well, my new team, Katusha. It's a Russian team. This bike is a full carbon fibre model. As you can see, it's got quite big aerodynamic tubes. That's the really big plus point of this bike. It's very, very stiff, a good transfer of power, so you don't lose any in any frame flex. The aerodynamics, of course, very important when you're sprinting at 70 plus kilometres an hour. Aerodynamics really does start to play a big role, and that's probably the most interesting thing about this bike is what they've developed and patented is this R-flow technology. You can see in the front fork, yep, we have it's like a double fork with a split in it, and that's been engineered for the most efficient aerodynamics. So what it does is literally takes the air through, yep, and then pulls the turbulent air away from the wheel and away from the spokes, so it creates less drag at the front. And we've got the same sort of system at the back, a split through what they call the rear stay. That is again pulling the air through it and then away from the spokes to reduce drag. So it is very, very efficient. And what's maybe difficult to see, and also my bike's a tiny bit dirty from training, is down the side of the frame we've got this rough little line that's painted in, yeah, and that acts as something that breaks up the air. As the air comes over a smooth surface, it can drag even more and create more turbulence behind the tube. So this little strip breaks up the air and lets it release from the frame more easily. So all these little things, it's tiny little things, but if it makes a millimetre of difference, and that's how much you win a race by, then it's all been worth it.
So it's come a long way since the old Melbourne Stars, mate. I guess you started on one of those ones. Yeah,
it's come a long way. Actually, my first bikes when I started racing BMX were Melbourne Stars. That's exactly what I rode. I was sponsored by Melbourne Star. Yeah. But yeah, bikes have come a long way in the technology with the materials going from different types of steels and alloys through to carbon fibre. It's probably the most widely used material now for building bikes. So yeah, this bike is really top of the line. Would retail at something like $14,000, $15,000, $16,000.
Jeez.
I'll go through probably 3 or 4 of these ones a year. Not because they're broken, there's nothing wrong with them, but I'll just get new ones. So I'll have a new bike at the start of the season. I'll have a new bike at the end of April. I'll have another new bike right before the Tour de France, and often another new bike before the World Championships. So I'll have probably 4 of these ones I'll go through during a season. There's another model that I use more in the mountainous races. When we have a mountain stage in the Tour de France, I go onto another model. I'll have probably 3 of those, plus a time trial bike, and then 1 or 2 bikes for training on at home. So during a season I'll have 10 or 11 bikes that I'll go through in a year, in different states of usage. I mean, some of them I'll finish riding them and they're only very, very slightly second hand. So, but yeah, so there's a lot of equipment we go, and if you take that through a whole team of say 28 riders, you're looking at a lot of bikes and a lot of equipment. So and that's where a chunk of the budget goes from the bike sponsor. It's a big thing to get involved in a professional team to supply. So but we're on really great bikes. This is considered one of the very best bikes in the bunch. So yeah, I'm happy that this bike manufacturer's come with me to my new team, and I'll be on them for another couple of years.
Now, a lot of athletes, particularly the top guys like yourself, you can put your name to certain bits of machinery and what have you, and I guess
looking at the seat, mate, that'd be pretty much the most important thing. How comfy is that after 21 days in it?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's something I guess you get used to it. But no, it is a good seat. It's been developed to stand up to 3 weeks of racing and almost never getting your ass off it during that whole time. So the good combination is a good seat and good clothing, because and what's really important is what they call the chamois, or the padding in the shorts. That's really, really important. I mean, gone are the days of chucking a ribeye down your trousers and to get through. No, yeah, every little piece of equipment is just important as the next. I mean, something else really important, of course, is you come down a skid lid. Yeah, so we're riding these laser helmets. Yeah. Really light, really comfy, got good airflow. So you've got to protect the melon. Yeah, so every little tiny piece, right down to, whichever shoes you choose to wear. Shoes are a very important thing, a very personal choice depending on your feet and what's comfortable for you. So, and then of course, for me, something very important, the sunnies. Gone for the matching blue Oakley radars. So, yeah, like I said, every little piece is important and plays its role, and this is the stuff that keeps you at the front.
All right, mate, well, you're looking good. Make sure you get a win on the weekend for us.
I don't look the part now, I just got to act the part.
No chance.
Yeah, so there he is, Robbie McEwen. Let's hope he does well this weekend and, of course, later in the year in the Tour de France.